I'm not just making stories up. You have to use this law firm. Spar and Bernstein is the best, worldwide best.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All of us are done through Mr. Bernstein. It started from my mom right up to the siblings. So we are so grateful for Mr. Bernstein. The ins and outs takes us almost 3 years.
And now you're with your children?
Yes, I'm with them.
How does it feel to be with your kids now?
Oh, it's joyful, joyful. So I'm heading on to the next phase now. Thank you, Mr. Bernstein.
Okay.
All of us are done through Mr. Bernstein. It started from my mom right up to the siblings. So we are so grateful for Mr. Bernstein. The ins and outs takes us almost 3 years.
And now you're with your children?
Yes, I'm with them.
How does it feel to be with your kids now?
Oh, it's joyful, joyful. So I'm heading on to the next phase now. Thank you, Mr. Bernstein.
Okay.
Well, Spar and Bernstein has been nothing but great to me throughout my trials. I mean, it's 5 years into this car accident, and they never gave up on me, never. And in everything, they fought for me, and I am so proud to tell everyone, don't even wink for a moment. You, Spar and Bernstein. My lawyer here, Mr. Barack, has been a cage animal. He wanted to go on trial, but thank God we settled out of court, and it was something that I'm very, very happy about. So everyone, I'm telling you, I'm not just making stories up. You have to use this law firm. Spar and Bernstein is the best, worldwide best.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What is your American dream?
My family is from Ecuador and I am from Chicago. My American dream is to be able to pay back my parents for everything they did for me.
I come from France and my American dream is to help every day the homeless. Merci à vous.
I am from Tunisia. My American dream is to see love and peace.
I was born in North Carolina, Rocky Mountain. My dream is to have peace, and that's it.
My parents are Guyanese, so I'm first generation American. My American dream is that we all get the same treatment, same laws, same education as everyone. That will be my American dream.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Muchas gracias por todo, abogadas, aquí por un sueño hecho realidad. A los 24 años de adquirir algo que me esperé tanto tiempo. Gracias a la abogada Marina, aquí es su patrón. Muchísimas gracias. Y les recomiendo que esta es realidad, un sueño que se me cumplió y estoy muy feliz y muy feliz. Gracias.
Congratulations.
Felicidades.
Thank you.
The outcome of your divorce could affect you for the rest of your life. If you don't have the right attorney, you could literally be paid through the nose forever.
That's right, Brad. For example, did you know that half the money you put into your retirement during your marriage is up for grabs in your divorce? So a disagreement as to when your marriage exactly ended could cost you thousands of dollars from your hard-earned retirement fund. And let's say you bought a house together. Factors like who's paying the bills, who paid the down payment, and whether you're receiving rental income can all affect your settlement in huge ways.
If you're having family law issues, if you're having matrimonial issues, you need attorneys who are going to fight hard for you. Call the matrimonial department, the family law department here at the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. What is your American dream?
I'm from Chicago, my parents are from the Philippines, and my American dream is to have world peace. I think that it all starts with teaching each other how to love one another, and that will set the path for a positive future.
I was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. My American dream is peace on earth.
I was born in Moscow. My American dream is I really want to get good education and I want to do my favorite things in the future.
I was born in New Jersey. My American dream is to hit the Mega Millions so I can take care of my family, my friends, and myself.
I'm from Belgium. My American dream would be that between youth people we have deep conversation about our faith, about how we see life and how we can live together.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Jonathan. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We love Anna. Anna, yay. Oh, hello there. I was just enjoying yesterday's episode of The Brad Show. In case you missed it, we introduced you to our newest correspondent in the field, Jonathan Elias. And he explained his parents' immigration story. His mom is from Ethiopia and his father is from Nigeria. And then, of course, we had the wonderful Anna Escona, our field correspondent from Miami, talking to Grammy-nominated music producer William Villalona. And we heard all about his story. His family immigrated from the Dominican Republic. Wow, Jonathan's very handsome and, well, Anna, ooh, she's so pretty. But I gotta tell you, I still think I'm the best looking of this whole crew. And I could be a field correspondent. I'm going to need to talk to Brad about this. All right, let's see what happens on today's episode of The Brad Show. I'm still better looking, but he is very handsome. Oh, not as handsome as Paul Hirsch, though.
All right, welcome everybody. It is The Brad Show. It is a rainy Thursday here in New York. Hopefully it's sunny where you are. Or maybe if you're in New York, it's raining and you're inside and staying warm. We have a lot of immigration ahead of us. We have a lot of law ahead of us, hopefully some fun times too. I'm just reading here in the comment section on The Brad Show here on Facebook. I want to say hello to Dionne Watson and say hello to Beverly Thompson. Thanks for watching. Stacey Ann Hodge, thanks for watching. Tamika Nelson, Lisa Bling Rose, Carol Anderson the Tiger. Good evening to all. Who is this? Mishaka Gordon. Hello, Mishaka. And of course, who else? Velma Gale and Dionne Watson, Natalie McLean, Dembasau, Malia Laubin Martin. Good evening, Angie Angel, Patrona Collins. Jeff Bossi says he's watching but can't say any comments. And then 2 seconds later, he's commenting. Even while driving, he's commenting. Please be careful. Don't text and drive, Jeff Bossi. Asset Lindo, good evening. And who else is here? Denisha John, Angie Angel, the entire Brad squad, the entire family here. We got everybody in the house. Welcome, everybody. And of course, we will be getting to all of your immigration questions. Give us a call right now at 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. I've got my glass of wine here. L'chaim to everybody. Hope everybody has a nice, good evening. And of course, I want to remind everybody to please share this with your friends and family. We are now going to be broadcasting exclusively on the Brad Show Facebook page. This is what the powers that be have decided. We are not changing it anymore. We will. So please, we don't have a lot of followers on the Brad Show page. Most of them are on the law offices of Spar and Bernstein page. The law offices of Spar and Bernstein page will continue to be there to deal with all of your legal issues. But of course, if you want more Brad Show stuff, you're going to have to go to the Brad Show page. This is where you're going to watch us exclusively. And the best way to know that when we are going to be live, when we are going to be able to see the show and get all of your legal issues resolved, is to like and follow us. Because if you like and follow us on the Brad Show on Facebook, you will get notified by Facebook every time we come on the air, which is every day, Monday through Friday, 5:30 to 7:30 in the evening. What I'll ask everybody to do as well is please share this with your friends and family. Best way to share with your friends and family? Very simple. There's actually only one way to share. Take out your finger and you press a button and you share it to your timeline. There we go. And you share it to your timeline. And then you share it to your friend's timeline. And you share it to groups that you may be a part of. And then you send it in Messenger to people that you may be friends with. Say, hey, check this out. This show is so informative and funny. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, send. Very simple. 1-800-529-5465. Delroy in the Bronx, we're going to get to you in a minute, as well as Casey Ann in Denver, Colorado. They have been waiting on hold with their legal questions. Let's see what's going on in the news today. Jill just handed me the news. I have been so extraordinarily busy today, I don't even know what's going on. So I'm going to read the news at the same moment, literally at the same moment you're going to hear it. I have no idea what the news is. It was literally handed to me 30 seconds before we got on the air because, in my other life, I'm actually an attorney. And I was doing attorney stuff all day. And then when I'm done with all my attorney stuff, I become broadcaster guy, and then I go home and go to sleep and pass out because I'm exhausted. And then I wake up and do it all over again. Kind of like Bill Murray and Groundhog's Day, except this is a lot more fun. 1-800-529-5465. Let's see what's going on. Trump says he's going to pull immigration enforcement from California. Yay for California. He says after criticizing the state for not cooperating with ICE officials, Trump said, frankly, it's a disgrace. The sanctuary city situation, I'm thinking about doing it. I'm thinking about taking ICE out of California. I'm happy if he does that. All right, let's see. By the way, did anybody watch? I watched last night, actually, when I got home. CNN did a town hall meeting with students who were in the school where the got shot in Florida, and parents whose children just buried, and they stood up very strongly. I don't know personally, as I was watching it, if I would be able, somebody killed my child and I just buried my child. I don't know if I would be able to go on national television within a week of burying my child and demand so forcefully changes to our crazy gun laws. One of the most moving parts of the evening, I watched it. It was actually very frustrating to me because I was even telling Jill, our executive producer, that, as much as people want change, I don't see change happening with guns. I think, unfortunately, it's a long story. I don't want this to be the gun show. But Fred Gutenberg, the father of late Jamie Gutenberg, who was killed, she was a 14-year-old girl who was killed. He had the most moving part of the evening. He stood up within days of burying his 14-year-old child and said to Senator Rubio, who is the senator from Florida, who was there, he said, Senator Rubio, I want to like you. Here's the problem. Your comments this week and those of our president have been pathetically weak, he said to lasting applause and cheers. Look at me and tell me guns were the factor in the hunting of our kids in the school this week. It absolutely was guns. It had nothing else but guns. There is no reason in the world, I don't want this to be the gun show, but I'll give you my 2 cents. There's these are all the victims. There is no reason in the world why anybody needs in their home a semi-automatic or automatic rifle that goes brrrr, there is no need for it. It doesn't serve a purpose other than to kill people. As has been said time and time again, it is a weapon of war. It is not a weapon that should be used for hunting. It's not a weapon that should be used for protection. Nobody needs to walk around with a semi-automatic rifle to protect themselves. It is used simply for hunting. And the NRA, we just saw a picture of the NRA lady who came on, and her opinion was, well, we just got to keep the guns out of the crazy people. Okay. You find the psychiatrist who can tell us 100% of the crazy people won't have guns. And on top of it, you go find the psychiatrist who says that all these people who we deem not crazy, they won't snap at any moment and become crazy. You don't know what buttons will be pushed by people that all of a sudden they do become crazy. It's anger. There's no way to figure it out. You know, that guy who shot all those people in Las Vegas, he was never on anybody's radar. He was never adjudicated crazy. He would have passed every background check in the world because he was never arrested. He never had any psychological issues, yet he stood in a hotel room at the Mandalay Bay and started mowing down people. In the good news, we're not going to show any videos of Olympics because we don't like the Olympics because they shut us down last time. But if you are a hockey fan, of which I'm not, but if you were, of which I'm not, but if you were a hockey fan or a fan of the United States women's hockey team, you'll be happy to know that they won the gold medal. First time in a long, long time. I don't know. But it's been a long time since the women won their gold medal. As I said, I'm reading the news as we go along. So it's been a long time. And there was an overtime. Besides being a long time, the game went into overtime. And apparently, U.S. goalie Matty Rooney, 20 years old, withstood the pressure to make I feel like I'm Bob Costas here, to make one last save against one of the most adept scorers in the game, Canada's Megan Augusta, a veteran who began her Olympic career. So congratulations to women's hockey. They won the gold. Here's some ironic news. It turns out Melania Trump's parents got their green card. Guess how? I could almost tell you how, because there's only 3 ways you can get a green card. They could get sponsored in a job. Who the hell's sponsoring Melania Trump's parents in a job? Give me a break. They could have invested over $1 million in a business, but then that would have been given to him by Trump because they didn't have $1 million to invest in the business. They could have filed for asylum, but what's their claim for asylum? What could they have done? Oh, yeah. I know what they could have done. Melania is a U.S. citizen. She could file for her parents. That's what she did. Melania Trump filed for her parents and got her a green card. The same application Donald Trump has demanded that you can't do anymore. No chain migration. He says, you know what happens? People come here to America and they come here on visitors' visas. And then you know what they do? They marry American citizens. And then they get green cards. And then they become citizens. And then they file for their family. Oh, that's what Melania did. Sorry. That's exactly what Melania did. What a hypocrite. Hypocrite! That's it. And finally, in the glad I'm not a millennial news, we have a lot of millennials here, but glad I'm not a millennial news, apparently the newest way to propose marriage is with the avocado. The avocado is the food of choice of many, and now people are putting diamond rings inside the avocado, and it is a now sensation, a huge sensation on the internet, hashtag avocado proposal. That goes right along with hashtag avocado toast, hashtag I don't give a crap. All right, 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. Let's see. We got 6, 7 people on hold here. We got Belgium Kim, who is a millennial. We're going to ask her about the avocado proposals. You better have an opinion on it, Belgium Kim. And let's go to Delroy in the Bronx. Delroy. Yeah.
Hello?
By the way, Carol Anderson, the Tiger, says Brad is mad now. You know what I'm mad? I'm sorry, Delroy. I'm going to get to you in a second. I'm mad at the hypocrisy. Okay? I'm mad at the hypocrisy that Donald Trump says no family immigration, yet that's exactly what his wife did. I'm mad at the hypocrisy of guns don't kill. Of course guns kill. I'm mad at the hypocrisy that Donald Trump sits there and has this listening with the family and then turns around the next day and says, you know what, we need to arm everybody in the school. You know what? It's a bunch of hypocrites. Hypocrites that are self-serving hypocrites. They're not even serving the people, they're serving themselves. But that's a whole other story. That's why I'm mad, Carol Anderson, the Tiger. I'm mad at when I read the news, and I didn't even see the news. I'm just reading it as we go along, and it gets me angry. Meanwhile, Delroy, I'm here to help you. What's up?
Yes, I have 2 quick questions.
Yeah.
My green card expired. Full out the form 17. I took my fingerprint. They said to go to 26 Federal Plaza to get a stamp in my passport if I need to travel. But there's no date available. Could me go to a different state and do it? Could me do it in like Connecticut?
Yeah. Or what? When do you need to travel?
I don't really need to travel right now. I just.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You can go. You can go to Connecticut. You can go to any state you want and go into immigration. Get a stamp in your passport, absolutely.
Okay.
All right.
And thank you very much.
You're
and
welcome.
The second question is, my friend come here under somebody else's name, and he married to a United States citizen. Could he still get his green card?
Well, your friend committed a marriage fraud because he came on somebody else's, marriage fraud, an immigration fraud because he came on somebody else's name. And by the way, there's more people coming on fake documents than running across the border. That's my 2 cents. Be that as it may, there is a waiver available if he has the document in which he used to come, if he lives in New York and Connecticut. Does he live in New York or Connecticut?
He live in New York.
Does he have the document that he came on?
I doubt he still have it, because he's here like 35
so
years.
He's going to need to come and see me. We'll see if we can find that document. Maybe he's 245I eligible because he's been here for so long. We'll have to figure out his life when he comes in. But there is a way for him to get a green card one way or the other.
Okay then.
All right?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Hold on, Delroy, and thanks for watching. And by the way, Delroy,
Yes.
the best thing you can do to help me, because now that I've helped you, is tell a friend to watch the show and like the show and follow us on the Brad Show. Okay? All right, spread the word.
Yes.
Thank you. 1-800-529-5465. That's what I'm going to do. Every person who calls, I'm going to say, hey, do me a favor. I just helped you. Now spread the word. Tell somebody to follow and like us. No, not a bad quid pro quo, right? Let's go to Casey Ann in Denver, Colorado. Casey Ann.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Fabby. I just made up my own word. Fabulous.
Fabby. I love it.
Okay. What's up?
Here's my question.
Yeah.
So, I filed for my mom back in 2017, and we got her request. They've mailed us a letter asking for additional evidence, and that is for the doctor. For her to do her medical. Now, she did her medical examination, and there was a delay. There was a medical issue.
Where is she?
The due date.
Where is she?
In Colorado.
Oh, so you're doing an adjustment for her. What can I ask? What the medical issue is, or is it too private?
Private.
Okay.
So the due date for this medical, that they said if we don't send the paperwork in by March 3rd, they're going to deny the case.
Okay.
So the medical issue is going to extend beyond March 3rd. It's going to take 3 weeks for all this process to be done. My question is, what should we do?
There's not a lot you can do. The best you can do is submit something saying you're in the process of resolving whatever the medical issue is, and please give me an extension. They may give it, they may not. If they don't give it, if they don't give it, they're going to deny you. You'll have to refile again, unfortunately.
Okay, so here's the thing. So I did call immigration, and asked for the extension, and they said no, they can't grant it.
Well, you're not.
But they can't.
They can't grant it because the person you're talking to is not the Immigration Service. If you call the 1-800 number, they're just outside.
The 1-800, yeah.
They're just people who answer the phone. It's like when you call Citibank and you get somebody in another country answering the phone. You're not speaking to Citibank. You're speaking to somebody who Citibank contracted to answer their phones. So the only thing you can do is you have a letter. You have a letter from immigration says, please submit A, B, C, and D, and maybe it even has a barcode and a case number on it by this date. And what you do is you write a nice long letter explaining everything you're doing with the evidence. Maybe you get something from a doctor saying I'm treating X, Y, Z, and you'll be fully treated by March 7th, March 15th, and ask for a short extension to allow this treatment to complete, and then submit a good medical report.
Oh, okay. So I got that. When we got all that information. The thing is, the doctor here did not specify how long the treatment was going to take. They just specified that she has an appointment on this date, and they're anticipating to see her. They didn't specify how long the treatment was going to take or anything.
Well, you're going to need to go back to the doctor and say, hey, can you give me a little more details in a letter?
Okay.
Yeah, and by the way, it's absolutely discretionary by immigration. There's no way you can force them to give you an extension. They may say yes, they may say no. But at least you try. Try. And then the worst case scenario is they deny her, and then you have to refile again once the medical is all resolved.
Okay. So if let's say worst case she gets denied, would you advise using a lawyer to go back again, or and how long is the
Yes, I would. Okay. Because maybe if you had a lawyer from the beginning, maybe you wouldn't be in this situation. I'm not saying you would or wouldn't. I'm just saying maybe you wouldn't.
Yeah.
All right, and we can certainly help you even from New York and Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
All right, so hold on one second. All right, 1-800-529-5465. Call us now if you have immigration questions. We're eventually going to get to Belgium, Kim. Leave your questions on Facebook. Leave them on YouTube. I will answer all of them, every last one. Keep the questions coming. That's why we're here. 1-800-529-5465. Stephanie in the Bronx.
Hi, Brad. How are you doing?
Good.
I'm good, thanks. Brad, I have a problem. I want to ask you a quick question. My husband, we put in the paper already, but I have an ITIN, and he's a citizen. But apparently, he filed his taxes without me, and I'm going to file separately. Would that be a problem when I'm doing the interview?
Yes.
It would be a problem?
Yeah, let me tell you why. Yes, it will. Let me tell you why. When you do a marriage case, and I've said this many times, I'm not sure how often you watch the show, but I'll say it again. When you do a marriage case and you go in, you have to prove two things. One, that you physically live together. You and your spouse live together in the same home. That's one thing you have to prove. The other thing you have to prove is that you have a financial relationship together. What is that financial relationship? It means that you pool your money together. What he earns and what you earn, you put it together. And from that pot of money that you earn, you pay all your expenses of your marriage. The rent, the mortgage, the car payments, the insurance, everything. Okay? So you join in the assets of the marriage, and you are joined in the debts of the marriage. When you file taxes separately, your husband's saying, my wife's not responsible for my debts, and you're saying I'm not responsible for my husband's debts, and now immigration starts questioning whether or not you have a joint financial relationship.
Okay.
You can amend your taxes, very simple. It's a very simple thing to fix. Hold on one second. We have good tax attorney here. All right?
Okay. All right.
All right, let's go to Talithia in Baltimore, Maryland. Talithia.
Hi, good day.
How are you?
So I'm good. My question to you was, yesterday my spouse and we went in for my green card interview, and I think the interview went fairly well. Right. And after the interview, because I wasn't sure what to expect. So after the interview, we were told that it will be reviewed and something will be sent to me in the mail. However, after I reached home, I checked online because I got an email that something was updated. It just said complete and must be reviewed. So I was just wondering, is that something to be alarmed about?
No, that's exactly what they just told you at your interview, that your case is completed, they're going to review it, and they'll give you a decision.
Oh, okay.
So that's exactly what they said at the interview is what appears on your screen. So you got to give them 120 days. Hopefully it went well. If you haven't heard anything in 120 days or you hear anything negative, give me a call.
All right, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. All right.
Bye-bye.
1-800-529-5465. By the way, that number is not only the number to call to get your immigration question asked and answered, it's also the telephone number for my law office. So if you would like to make an appointment to come see us, you're in the New York area, come to downtown Manhattan. You're in Connecticut area, go to Hartford, Connecticut. We have our office in Hartford. You're anywhere in the United States, you don't have to come to New York. We can do a phone consultation. You're anywhere in the world, you don't have to fly to New York. We can do a phone consultation. 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAW-LINK. And also, everybody, I do have to remind everybody, you know, help me just a tiny, tiny bit. Share this with your friends and family. Please share it. It's a very simple thing to do. If you belong to any groups, that you think may like this show, it may not be a group about immigration. Maybe you belong to a knitting group. Maybe the knitting group may need some immigration help. Maybe you belong to a cooking group. Maybe the cooking group needs some immigration help or legal advice. Maybe you like football or soccer, the sports group. All right? Maybe you belong to an Olympic group. Whatever it is, share it with them. You never know who needs the legal advice. Or who just wants to watch a show because it's fun to watch. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to John in Seattle, Washington. John.
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Hey, I love you, man. I watch you all the time, and you have some great advice.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. What's up?
Okay, so I've been in the United States since 1966. And over that span, I've been arrested 5 times.
Okay. Where are you from originally?
Honduras.
Okay.
Yeah, and so arrested 5 times, but I could only verify 2 times because I did what you said about vacating charges. The best I can do is expunge an already dismissed charge from Tennessee.
Okay, expunge is different than vacating, by the way.
Right. I know.
Right.
And I tried to vacate another third-degree misdemeanor from Washington State from 20 years ago, but they destroyed the record.
Okay.
So I don't know what to do about that either. Okay. But anyway, considering all this mess that I have, I want to be an American citizen.
Right. Let me ask you a question.
So,
You've been here since 1966. How old were you when you came?
I was 5.
Okay. Were your parents citizens before you were 18? That's the first place to start.
No.
Okay. Can you discuss what you were arrested for? Your 5 different arrests.
Let's see. I got into a shouting match with a cop in 78.
Okay.
That was dismissed.
All right. That's not a problem.
The next day.
Next one.
In 1994, I got arrested 3 counts of aggravated assault against 2 police officers.
Right.
Evading arrest and resisting arrest.
I see that. Okay. What happened?
Oh, you mean what happened in the incident or the disposition?
The disposition. You can tell me what happened. I was making a joke that got fish you off, but.
Right. I got a diversion.
Okay. So that's
subsequently,
not fine. So that's not a conviction.
Right, and subsequently it was dismissed.
Perfect. So 2 for 2 so far.
Right, and then a third-degree misdemeanor in 1998.
Okay, for what?
For assault on my stepson.
Where was this? In Washington?
What state?
In Washington?
Yes, in Washington.
Okay, and you were convicted of that?
I pleaded to a third-degree misdemeanor.
Okay, no jail time?
No jail time, no.
Okay, what was the 4th time?
Say again?
Okay, so that's considered a petty offense. Let's go to the 4th one.
The 4th one was shoplifting.
Okay.
Interesting story. Cops came to my door, asked me if I was at a certain supermarket, and I said yes. And someone said they saw you shoplifting, and took your license plate.
Okay.
And I said, no one saw me shoplifting.
Right.
And they said they had cameras, and I said, if you had cameras, you'd see that I did not shoplift. So he wanted to look at my car, and I said, if you don't have a shirt, because he was very impolite, and I said, if you don't have a search warrant, you're not going to look at my car.
Right.
So he taped up my car and arrested me.
Okay.
Took me in, and as I was sitting there talking to him, he said, if you let me look at the car, I'll let you go. And he towed the car to the police station.
And by the way, for future, and we'll hear your story in a second, what your response should be is, I think you should let me speak to my attorney. That's the only things that should have ever come out of your mouth, but let's continue.
Right, I should have, but I really didn't know I was under arrest until he arrested me.
Right.
So he searched my car, and then he let me go.
Okay.
So I was looking for a record of that arrest, and I couldn't find it.
It doesn't exist. Okay. Do you remember what police station you went down to?
The one that arrested me in Bellevue.
I'm sorry. So you know the police station you were in?
Yes.
All right. So you go to that police
station. You know what's ironic about that? I worked in that building before it became a police station.
All right. So you go to that police station, say, give me proof of that date of the arrest, and if they don't have it, they don't have it. Then there was no official arrest.
Okay. So what my question is I want to be able to sit in front of an interviewer and tell them that I wasn't arrested or I was arrested.
All right. So then you would either get a letter from the police station saying that on this day, on June 1st, 2001, whatever it was, either it says you were arrested and no charges were brought against you, or it will say the police station, you'll get a letter from the police that says we have searched all of our records and there is no record of any arrest ever on this person. And then you'll say, when you go on the interview, you'll say, listen, I don't know whether I was under arrest or not. Apparently I wasn't. The officers told me to come down to the police station. Apparently they never booked me. They never arrested me. And they released me, period. And I have a letter.
Okay.
All right. So the best I can tell you is I sat at a police station because a cop asked me to come sit in a police station.
All right. So as far as being an American citizen, I'm in good shape?
Well, you told me about 4 so far. I need to hear about the 5th one.
Oh, the 5th one was a paternity warrant.
And when was that?
That was in 1994.
And what happened with that case?
Paternity was established, and
that's not an arrest. It's family court. Yeah, it sounds like you're in good shape. The only thing I would suggest to you is, at the bare minimum, let me get all of those criminal records and arrests and make sure what you think happened actually happened.
Okay. Listen, if I hired you, would you be able to do the background necessary for this?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, hold on one second. All right, that was a long one. 1-800-529-5465. But we went through his whole life. Let's go to Philippa in Queens, New York. Philippa. Philippa.
Hi, Mr. Bernstein.
Hi, how are you? What's up?
I'm doing fine. I'm just calling about my son. I filed an N-600 for him June 13, 2016. I paid $600. I didn't hear anything back from UCIS. I keep calling. When I called, the gentleman told me that I have to wait like anybody else because I told him I was in the military. I have to wait until everybody else, until his priority date comes about. So after I got off the phone with him, I was inquiring and I was told that I don't need to wait until no priority date. Priority date is for those who are not children, whatever. Anyway, I keep calling. Recently, they keep sending me 3 letters, one behind the others, in February. The last letter is stating
all right, so
that...
let me make this suggestion to you, okay? Because USCIS takes forever on these things. You can get him a U.S. passport in a few weeks, get him the U.S. passport, and whenever the certificate of citizenship happens, it happens. You don't have to wait on the certificate of citizenship to get him the passport. If you're doing an N-600, he's a citizen.
Yes, but they're sending me a letter saying that it was denied and I have to do a I-290B form.
No, you can't. You don't appeal. You don't appeal. Well, yes, you do have to. You do it as a motion to reopen. Why was it denied? Why was it denied?
That's it. They're saying that they sent me a letter for proof of residency from January 2014,
okay, so
and I never responded.
All right, so
but
then
this is ironic.
So
I didn't hear from them.
This is typical with immigration. Okay, they claim they mail stuff out and it mysteriously disappears. It's amazing that there's more that the U.S. Post Service always seems to lose the immigration letter. Okay, nobody else loses any other letters, but for some reason the post office always loses the immigration letter. Okay, you're not the first person that this mysterious loss of a letter never gets mailed to you. The only thing I could suggest to you is come see me and we will get it straightened out for you. All right, hold on. All right, let's go to Aaliyah in the Bronx. Aaliyah.
Hello?
Hi, Aaliyah.
Hi, good night. I want to ask a question.
Yes.
Is the USCIS number the same thing as the alien number?
The USCIS, well, the alien number is the A number, and it starts with a 9 or 10-digit number.
Okay,
so it's
on my work permit, I see USCIS number. I'm asking if it's the same thing as my alien number.
Does it start with an A0?
No.
No, that's
just numbers.
No, so if your USCIS number is not your A number is your A number, your USCIS number may be an EAC number. I don't know what's on your. I don't know what you're looking at on your work permit.
Okay.
You know what you can do is take a photograph of it, and send it to me in a private message, and I'll be happy to look at it and tell you what you're looking at.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. 1-800-529-5465. Okay, this is the time. Okay, if I haven't made it clear yet, let me make it clear. Got to make something clear here. Share this with your friends and family. Let them know that we are here to help. Let them know that Belgium Kim is coming up in about 15 seconds. Belgium Kim, who originally hails from Belgium, which is why we call her Belgium Kim, who then moved to North Carolina. Maybe one day we'll call her North Carolina Kim. And eventually migrated from North Carolina all the way up to Harlem, New York, where she currently lives, and then from Harlem, New York, commutes to downtown Manhattan, to the offices here of Spar and Bernstein, where every day she comes on The Brad Show to ask your immigration questions. So please tell all your friends and family right now, Belgium Kim's coming up to ask your immigration questions right off of Facebook. Make your comments, read your comments right off of Facebook, as well as YouTube. We're going to answer your questions off of YouTube as well. Let's find Belgium Kim. BK! Kimmy Kim!
Braddy Brad,
you changed your lipstick today. You went dark. You went dark on the lipstick. I noticed. I'm watching.
We're feeling sultry and red is what I went with.
I'm watching sultry and red. All right. All right. First of all, either you got to come higher or I got to go lower. Okay.
I can come higher.
You can come higher?
Higher.
All right.
Yeah,
1 second.
yeah.
1 second.
Look at that.
Boom! All right. Very good. All right. So what?
You'd be shocked.
What?
You'd be shocked at how much we have to adjust this chair every day. It changes. It's very bizarre.
Who just moved the camera? You have a camera operator there now?
We do have a camera operator.
Who's doing that? Who's doing that?
I'm assuming it's somebody in the control room.
Oh my God.
I'm assuming.
Was the groundhog Sam left there? Was groundhog Sam left to control your camera?
Right,
How come they only screw? You know what? They're smart. They screw with your camera. They don't move my camera around like that. They know they would be in trouble.
No, I don't think they dare.
They know they'd be in trouble.
Except that one day, do you remember where you kind of got out of focus
and then you were just I was going that was like the first week we were on. That was funny.
It's one of my favorite Brad Show clips.
That is great. That is great. All right, so what do we got? Kim? Kimmy Kim.
Brad, our first question is from Camille. And Camille says, how long does it take for a U.S. citizen's son to file for his mom?
A year or so.
A year. Okay. We've got highly favored Mel who says, I'm asking for a friend. The ever-present.
1 second now. The entire Brad squad's going to start going off on this guy. Yeah, stop with the friend. I saw that yesterday, right? Somebody got insulted, right? Didn't somebody get insulted?
Yeah.
I forgot who it was.
He was unhappy. Like, what do you mean?
Friend? I'm really talking about right. Everyone's like, calm down. All right. So let's hear about the friend.
friend.
The
friend got married to a green card holder, but she's undocumented. She has no paperwork, has not gone in yet. Is it wise to file for her? Is it wise for her husband to go ahead and file for her and to do their taxes together because she does have a tax ID number?
Absolutely. Do your taxes together. The IRS cannot share any information with anybody, you know, and you know, the perfect example is Donald Trump. He's never released his tax returns. Nobody can see them. Okay? So unless you give permission, the IRS can't send it to anybody. That's the law. Okay? That's number one. Number two, file an I-130 visa petition for her immediately. Because if you don't file an I-130, she's never going to get a green card. Start the process. And either at some point she'll be eligible to adjust because you're a citizen or some other reason. Maybe she's 245I, or she'll do a provisional waiver. She's undocumented. She'll do a provisional waiver. She'll go home. She'll come back. One or the other. Start the process. The worst thing in the world to do is nothing. Let me give you advice about people who do nothing. Kim.
Tell me.
Okay.
Tell
People
me.
who do nothing, they have nothing.
They get nothing.
They get nothing. You can't, nothing turns into nothing.
That's
Gotta
true.
Take a step. Okay, what else?
That's true. We've got Diana who wants to know, my question is, I'll be reporting low on our taxes. Is that going to affect my husband on getting his green card? Or should he report more, or the amount that he reports on our taxes doesn't matter at all?
All right. So if you're asking me to lie on your taxes, the answer is don't lie on your taxes.
How do I commit tax fraud?
No, you don't lie on your taxes. All right, that's number one. Okay. So what you should be doing is a joint tax return, and you should be declaring all the income you earned and all the income your husband earned, and then take as many lawful deductions as you're allowed. Whatever the income is, that's the income. That's the taxes you pay. If it's above 125% above the poverty level, wonderful. You don't need a second affidavit of support. If it's 125% below, you get a second affidavit of support. You don't lie on you commit tax fraud in order to get a green card or avoid or do some sort of tax avoidance. It's not the smartest thing in the world.
Right. No, that seems incredibly counterintuitive. Yes. Breaking the law to then be able to be legal is right.
Yeah, right. I'm not sure. Right. Wait. We didn't get the whole thing there, but that's basically the crux of it.
Right. Marilyn says, my mom is a green card holder. I want to send her to Jamaica for a year. What form can I file for her to stay for a year in Jamaica without losing her green card?
A re-entry permit. It's an I-131. It has to be filed before she leaves. She also is going to get a fingerprint about a month or 6 weeks later. So if she can hang out here, so she doesn't have to go to Jamaica and then fly back for the fingerprint, that would be beneficial too.
It's the one answer I did know.
You knew that.
I did know that.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to answer. Only I'm allowed to answer because you are not an attorney. You can only ask.
That is
you can
correct.
Only ask.
Yes. I am the woman with all the questions and none of the answers.
That is correct. By the way, Jeff Bossy, all right, he's tell him to stop texting and driving. Besides the fact that it's illegal, I don't want him to get injured.
He's been pulling over to comment. So in heavy periods of comments, he literally pulls his car over to talk to us.
Okay,
yes.
Fine. All right.
I'm also a little bit peeved at him because he said, Kim looks good today, but I still prefer my Anna Banana.
Aha. Well, that's the way it is. What about Kim looks good today, but I prefer my wife? What happened to that, Jeff Fosse? Yeah. I mean, and by the way, Cordella Willery, how you doing? Hope we took care of her today. I believe we did. Okay. And by the way, we have a lot of new people in our Facebook comments. All right, we have some new commenters. So new commenters, welcome. Now they may not be new to the show; they just may be new to commenting. But please comment away. Please comment away. I'm going to tell you something. The show is much better with comments than without comments. Okay, and people who are commenting. If you want to make a comment, you can say something nice. You can say whatever you want to say. Just don't say anything mean about me. That's fine. No, I'm only kidding. You can say whatever you want. But if you comment, even if you don't have a question, you comment. It makes the show much more fun for you, and it's much more enjoyable to be. We like people who are getting involved in the show. And then we get to know them over time, and we get to know who they are and what they're about and their personalities, and it becomes fun. And lots of people get to meet each other for the first time ever just through the Brad Show.
Yeah, there are several of them that are now like friends in real life. They text outside of the show. They like real friendships. I love our Bradshaw family because they are absolutely.
Now, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to let the cat out of the bag a little bit, or the groundhog out of the hole a little bit.
I was just about to say, everyone has been guessing.
We are going.
Who is it?
No. I'm not going to tell you who the new.
Okay.
But what we're going to do come this spring, okay?
Mhm.
We're not in the winter, spring, okay? We are going to have a Brad Squad party, where we're going to invite everybody who comments regularly. You have to be a regular commenter.
Yes.
Doesn't matter where you are. We're going to invite you to the Brad Squad party. But you got to be a regular commenter. You just can't comment once and then disappear. If you are a regular commenter, okay, and we know who you are.
I know who you are.
We know who you are. All right, we're going to have one big party. Where, when, and how, I don't know yet. I'm leaving that up to Jill. Okay, but we're going to have a big party.
See,
I just decided that, by the way, off the cuff just now. Okay, so Jill is probably like, "What are you doing, Brad?"
Everybody's heads exploding.
Everybody's
in
like
the
freaking
front
out
room.
now. I just decided that just now.
Broken into a sweat.
Yeah. All right. The party is at Kim's apartment in Harlem. Kim's gonna be baking.
We can fit a total of 6 people, everybody.
All
as long
right.
as we're
So we have to.
over.
Everyone has to come 6 at a time. That's about it.
There'll be a lineup.
There'll be a lineup. Everyone has to hang out on the street corner. 6 up in Kim's apartment. All
Now,
right.
a block party in Harlem.
Now that would be fun. We would have to figure out how to block off the block. That would be cool. I don't know how
Crowd
you do
enough
that.
people, cars won't get by.
I don't know how you do that. All right, we're gonna look into that. All right, what else you got?
Tamika has a question that started quite the debate, a big guessing game. Who's the voice behind Sam?
I don't know who's the voice behind Sam. I mean, come on.
We had guesses
On yesterday's episode, Brad. It's not me though. I'm just a good imitator of it, but it is not me.
You do a really good Sam.
It is not me. I swear my life, it's not me. Hey.
Okay.
I want to be a guest commentator too. You see, I'm not really Sam. I do an imitation of Sam, but I don't actually do it.
Okay.
Who is it?
Okay.
You know what? There is no voice behind Sam. Sam is Sam.
Sam is Sam. Sam is a real groundhog. That's
A real
the secret,
talking
you guys.
groundhog. That's,
He is
people
a
don't get
real
it. It's a real talking groundhog. All right.
Exactly.
What else we got?
We've also got Harris Jackson, brand new commenter. I don't think I've ever seen Harris before. Harris says, I've got a friend who didn't come here legally, but our daughter is a U.S. citizen. Can her daughter file for her mother?
You have a friend who came here illegally, but the daughter's not a U.S. citizen. No, the
Correct.
daughter has to be a citizen first to
The
file for the
daughter
mother.
is a U.S. citizen.
Oh, then
The
if
daughter
she's over
is-
21, she can file for the mother, yes.
Mm-hmm. Sweet Kimmy has a two-parter question. The first part is, can my father travel to the U.S. once I've started filing for him?
Well, I mean, you can, but if they know that you filed for him at the airport, they can give him a problem and turn him around. So there's always a risk.
Which is kind of her second part of the question is, can he travel back and forth to the U.S. until the filing is finished and then he just stays in the U.S.?
I think that's a risk in doing that. Yeah.
Mishka wants to know, I have a friend who's planning to marry her boyfriend. He's a citizen and he's presently divorced. She's undocumented. He's paying alimony to his wife and had a case before that he had to lose because he was found guilty. But he didn't get locked up for it.
Okay.
He couldn't go by the house. Is she going to have a problem marrying him?
All right. So she wants to marry a guy who's been in jail, who's paying alimony and child support. As long as the child support and the alimony are up to date and the jail didn't have anything to do with sexual abuse of a minor, she will not have a problem.
Shakira,
yes. Very good.
Shakira wants to know, after getting a receipt for I-130, how long before you get the I-864 in the mail?
What?
The I-864.
That's an affidavit of support. Okay.
So why would you?
So I guess you're filing for an immediate relative in another country. I guess that's the question. So you file the I-130. I had to think about that for a second, but my Facebook to Google figured it out. All right. All right. My Facebook to English translator figured it out.
So immigration law.
Right. So you file the I-130, you get the I-130 approved, the case gets transferred to the National Visa Center. The National Visa Center will ask for fee bills, biographic data, you'll send that in, then you're going to get the affidavit of support, you fill that out, you send that in, it's at the end of the case, not in the beginning, and then everything gets transferred to the U.S. Embassy for a visa interview.
Ermaine says, I have an issue with my baby's father. His wife is estranged. They've been separated for years. We eventually would like to get married after he finally gets divorced, but she abandoned him, and at this point, his green card is expired. And I'm really scared that they're not going to renew it. Can you help me?
Yeah, well, his green card expired on a 2-year green card. They're not going to renew it if he's married to this woman and she disappeared. So he needs to get a divorce from her immediately in order to remove the conditions based on a marriage that broke up. Okay? If it's a 10-year green card, who cares? They'll renew it. It has nothing to do with his marriage. I'm assuming it's a 2-year green card. He should do the divorce immediately, because without doing the divorce, he's going to run into a big problem.
Daniel says, can someone who got deported 13 years ago return to the U.S.? It was a case of domestic violence, and now the daughter wants to go ahead and file for the petition for the person who'd been deported.
Whenever you ask a deportation question, tell us why you were deported.
It was a domestic violence case.
I didn't hear that part. My apologies. How long ago was that?
13 years.
There's a possibility to come back, yeah.
Barbara says, my son's a citizen living somewhere in Port St. Lucie. I was in contact with him up until Hurricane Marie in August, and then lost contact with him. And I know that now he has relocated, but he's still somewhere in Port St. Lucie. I'm having a hard time getting him to do my filing, and he's the reason I overstayed when I first got to the U.S., so he should be the one doing my filing. If I give you his phone number, would you be able to contact for me, as he will not answer any of my calls?
What's going on with you and your son?
Something went down, I think, with Barbara and her son.
I mean, I think what she should do is come in for a consultation, and let's figure out all the different options she has. Certainly, we can always reach out to the son and try to speak to him, but ultimately we can't put a gun to his head.
Right.
Although, in the world of Donald Trump, everybody should have a gun and put it to people's heads. But,
including teachers and such.
Yeah, including teachers. But you can't put a gun to somebody's head. So, I mean, either they'll do it or they won't. Certainly, we can always call them and try to, start the conversation about patching it up between the two of you. But, I mean, ultimately, you're going to have to patch it up yourselves.
Diana has another question. After the petition for her husband has been approved, what comes next? We already gave all the documents to support our case to our attorney, and she told us that she's going to go ahead and file the visa, but the last time we saw her was in November. How long should we have to wait for an interview?
Who's sponsoring you, and what's approved?
Husband is sponsoring her, and so far the I-130 is approved.
And where's she?
I don't know.
Is she in another country, or is she here in the United States?
Or is she here? That I am not certain about. Diana,
where are you, Diana?
Where are you, dearest? We've got Na, who says, if I married the father of my child and his name is not on her birth certificate, is that going to be a problem when we go to put in our papers?
If you marry your baby father's child, but his name's not on no, it's not a problem. But you should put his name on the birth certificate. You could always amend it.
Diana has responded with her follow-up. She is currently living in the United States.
Then you should be doing an adjustment. Why did the lawyer just file an I-130? Adjustment should have been done a long time ago. So you're not doing things very properly. Give us a call.
We've got Barb, who says, I live in Jamaica, I've got 2 kids, and I recently married a U.S. citizen. How long will the filing process take for me and my kids? And we have a visiting visa right now. Can we go ahead and travel to the States while the filing is being...
I always think you shouldn't travel, because when you file a visa petition, you're telling the U.S. government, I want to come live in America permanently. Then you're coming into the airport and you're saying, here, I'm here as a tourist. And somebody at the airport can easily say to you, wait a second. You just 3 months ago said you wanted to come live permanently, and now you're sitting here at the airport 90 days later and saying you're here as a tourist. Where are you lying?
Right. What's the untruth?
Right. What's the untruth? We think you're coming here to live permanently, and they can give you a big problem at the airport that ultimately may end up getting deported at the airport and then giving you a 5-year bar, or maybe a permanent bar for misrepresentation. I'm not saying that happens every time, because it doesn't, but that possibility exists every time you travel on a tourist visa when you have an application for your green card. So in the instances of spouse filing for spouse, it takes a year. You travel, the U.S. citizen, my best advice is the U.S. citizen travel to the spouse. Don't let the spouse travel to the U.S. citizen. And it will take about a year. What I'd like to do, Kim, is I had met up earlier today with a young lady by the name of Tamika Rochester. Now, Tamika Rochester is an immigrant. She's an American dream story. She's originally from Jamaica. She is owns the only spin studio in Harlem. I don't know if you are aware of where it is. She's the owner of Harlem's first boutique spin studio, and she's also a founder of a nonprofit group that helps orphan children in South Africa. She's really an amazing entrepreneur. She came here as an immigrant from Jamaica, and we talked a little bit about what it's like to be a woman entrepreneur, an immigrant entrepreneur, a black woman entrepreneur, and an immigrant, and the differences between getting a paycheck every week and being your own boss. Let's watch. So I'm excited to welcome with us today Tamika Rochester. Tamika has a wonderful immigration story, a fantastic American dream. She is runs the first cycling spinning studio in Harlem. She also has started a non-for-profit that helps orphans in South Africa. She's a really unique and interesting person, a fabulous individual who is really living her American dream. And we want to welcome Tamika to the Brad Show. Tamika, how are you?
I'm good, Brad. Thanks so much for having me.
And thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. You are Skyping with us right now from your business, Harlem Cycling. Tell us a little bit about your business.
So just like you said, we are the first of our kind here. We're the first indoor cycling studio. So those of us who are unfamiliar with it, it's spinning. So doing that indoor workout on a bike. We are the first of our kind here in Harlem. So we were the entrepreneurs and the groundbreakers in that aspect. We do a lot of great unique rides, so on and off the bike workouts, making sure to really give you a total body workout.
So let me ask you a question. How long have you had this business going?
So April will be 2 years for us.
And
still very new.
How is it being an entrepreneur? I know from reading your backstory that you were originally in corporate America. You got a paycheck every week, and now you're an entrepreneur. What do you like better? Quickly, what do you like better, entrepreneur or corporate America?
Entrepreneur.
All day long.
It drives you. It's what makes you want to jump out of bed.
Now you have an interesting immigration story. You were not born here in the United States. You are originally from Jamaica, I understand. And tell us a little bit about your immigration story, and if there was anything within your story that made you stronger or more determined to do what you're doing today.
So I was born in St. Elizabeth, Jamaica. So we didn't come over till I was about 4 or 5 years old. So what's interesting is we were able to immigrate because of my father. So when my father was 9 years old, his mom got a work visa to come to the U.S. She couldn't bring everyone with her, so she had left my father with his stepfather at the time. And, you know, her goal was to come work, save up so she could afford to bring her kids. And so her stepfather, my dad's stepfather, immediately the moment she got on the plane, dropped my dad off with his biological father. So he was left in Jamaica. His stepfather had brought him to, you know, St. Elizabeth, and he was originally living in St. Anne. And his biological mom, who was in the U.S., had no way of contacting him, had no way of finding him. You know, at the time, St. Elizabeth We just got running water and electricity just 10 years ago. So we were a little behind. And so one day when my father had turned about 21, 22, he was in Kingston and he saw a poster for his wanted child ad. So he was considered missing all those years, and he just thought his mom had abandoned him. And so he was able to connect with his biological mother through that.
Where do you see? Can I ask a question? Because I don't even know this. Where do you see the missing child ad? Is it in a newspaper? Is it like posted on like on a wall somewhere as you're walking down the street? How did he actually find it? And said, "Oh my God, that's me."
He saw it just randomly on a wall. Like you know how those signs are just left up and they just wither away after years. He just saw an image of himself.
Oh my God.
One day. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Crazy, right?
And then he was reunited with his mother.
Yes. And so he was able to connect with her. At the time, he was already married. He had both myself and my sister. And so because she had filed for him when he was much younger to come over, she just couldn't locate him, it was a lot faster for us to get over. So we came over when I was about 4 or 5 with my mom and my dad, and connected with his biological mom.
Right.
But of course, as you come into America, things are not that easy. So my parents, were cleaning hospitals when we came. And they had to send me and my sister back for a year because they didn't know what to do.
They couldn't afford to keep the whole family.
Exactly. They couldn't afford to have us. Right. So we went back to my other grandma, and then we came back a year later.
So now you not only are you an entrepreneur and you have all these classes to run, and you're probably in great shape too. Right? You also have started a charity for orphans in South Africa. How did you get involved doing that? What inspired you to do that?
So about 10 years ago, I actually went to South Africa on vacation, or what I perceived as vacation. I knew I'd be there volunteering, but I always believe that whenever you travel to a country, you can't just come and live off the tourism. You have to give back in some way. So every time I travel, I always do at least one day of service. And so when I went 10 years ago, there was actually a group of us from college that went, and we were volunteering, and I just met these kids, and their spirit was just so overwhelming. And I thought, I can't just walk away from this and pretend like I don't see what's happening. And I can't pretend like there's nothing I can do. I know when, the American dollar is stronger. And so a little bit goes a long way when I go down there. And 10 years now, we've been going strong. And to me, it's more rewarding. Now, I think I'm getting more out of it sometimes than the kids, because it has truly changed my life.
Now, and that's you in South Africa. Where is this orphanage? Where in South Africa?
So we work across 5 different schools and 1 orphanage. So it's in the KwaZulu-Natal district, which is the district that has the highest number of HIV and AIDS-related cases. It's in Durban.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story about me. I had gone to South Africa about 5 years ago. I, too, believe that you have to give back even when you travel all over. And I have pictures, which I'm going to show, that me and my children went to visit a school and spent an entire day. We went out to the local store. We bought materials, hammers, and we built an entire swing set for these children who really have almost nothing in the townships in Cape Town. And we spent a day with them. And we even went out and we went and got them candies and chocolates, things that you would take for granted here in the United States of America, that these children have never even tasted before in their entire life. And there we are inside the school, and we spent an entire day with them and built them a swing set. And as a matter of fact, my daughter had donated money to them from her bat mitzvah. The money that she got as presents for her bat mitzvah was donated to this school.
Awesome. That is amazing. And that's what it's really all about, is being able to touch the lives of someone, even just for a minute.
Yeah. So that's really wonderful. So how can somebody contribute to your non-for-profit to help these children in South Africa try to, make a better life for them?
So visit our website. We're at www.trg-international.org, and there's many ways to donate on our page. So you can do something monthly, one-time donation, or we go back each year. So we go back end of June, first week of July, where we take volunteers from the U.S., bring them back, and you teach and travel with us for 2 weeks across Africa.
That's amazing. Now, let me, before you leave, what advice do you have, because this is an immigration show, What advice do you have for immigrants who, A, come to America? You saw how your parents had to survive when they first came. And what advice do you have for them after they've established their roots here? If they want to follow in your footsteps and be an entrepreneur, what advice do you have for them?
My advice is just keep working. I know it's difficult. There are many things that I do every day that I wonder if it's making an impact. So as an entrepreneur, you just toil and toil and toil away and hope that one day something will happen. But you never know how close you are to making that difference. So my advice to anyone who's looking to entrepreneurship is to stay focused, stay committed, and just keep pushing.
Well, Tamika Rochester, you are an amazing woman, an entrepreneur. You give back to not only here in the United States, but in South Africa as well. A fabulous, fabulous story. You've shown what it takes to be an entrepreneur, a woman entrepreneur, a woman of color, an immigrant who is successful, smart, has multiple degrees. Congratulations to you, and hopefully you're an inspiration to some people who watch as well. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. All right, Tamika Rochester. I liked her very much. I really did. I could have talked to her for much longer, but we got immigration questions. But I really liked her. She was a really cool woman and does a lot of really good work. So congratulations to Tamika. Telephone number to call to get your immigration questions asked and answered right now is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. Our lines are open. We have Shandia. We had a lot of people on hold, and then they kind of, I guess, got tired of holding for like 30 minutes waiting for me to answer your immigration questions. So we're going to be going back to answering your immigration questions now. So if you call 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-529-5465, we will be answering your immigration questions now. Let's go to Shandia in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Shandia.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Okay.
What's happening?
Okay, I have a question. It's about an immigration case about unlawful presence in the U.S.
Right.
So, we had filed numerous times, but not working with a lawyer.
Who's we filed? What do you mean?
My husband and I.
Okay, who's filing for who? That's what I wanted to know.
Me.
All right, your husband's a U.S. citizen and he's filing for you.
No, I'm a U.S. citizen.
You're a US
filing for
your
him.
husband. Okay. And where is he from?
Haiti.
He's from Haiti. How did he come to America?
He didn't come straight from Haiti to America. I think he went from Venezuela.
Okay. He took a very circuitous route, you would say.
What is it?
A circuitous route. He went in a big circle to get here, right?
Hello?
Hello, you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I said he took a circuitous route. He took a big circle. He started in Venezuela and then kind of made his way up. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, did he cross the border from Mexico, or he came in by a boat without inspection or with a fake document? How do you ultimately get into America?
I would say with a fake document.
Okay. And what year was this?
2001.
And when he did that, was he stopped, or he made it past immigration with the fake document?
Actually, he got stopped at immigration.
He got stopped at immigration. And then I assume you're going to tell me he applied for asylum. Is that correct?
He applied for what?
Asylum, political asylum?
Yeah,
Right.
which he got denied.
He got denied. And then he had an order of deportation. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And then
he never received it, but
right. And then he got a
they
TPS.
told him.
And then he got a TPS, which allowed him to stay here, I assume, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now that Donald Trump is ending TPS, and he came on a fake document, and he tried to apply for asylum and was denied, and now TPS is over, that order of deportation is going to get reinstated. You're concerned about him returning back to Haiti, and now you're a U.S. citizen. He said, okay, let's go file for him, and you haven't been getting too far. Is that basically
I
it?
did.
Oh, you did get far.
I did.
So what happened?
The I-130 got approved.
Okay, good.
But then again, the immigration officer say even the I-130 approved. We did do the waiver as well.
What kind of waiver?
I-601.
Okay.
Yeah, we did that, and then it got denied, which we had to do an appeal, which is still pending. So
why was okay? So you did. So he's considered, I assume, an arriving alien. Is that what they? Is that how they have him, as an arriving alien?
That I'm not sure. I didn't read all that.
Did you try to make a motion to reopen a deportation hearing, or you tried to do a waiver straight with immigration?
We did we filed everything together, like the waiver with the adjusted the I-485 and everything.
So
we never tried to do a motion to open the.
Right. So this is what I don't know the answer to. I mean, I know the answer. I just don't know the answer because I don't have the documents in front of me. Okay. If he was found inadmissible, you're doing the right thing by filing an adjustment and a waiver. You didn't do the waiver good enough to get approved. Maybe you want to try a new adjustment and a new waiver rather than doing an appeal. Because what you're by the appeal, you're saying, I gave enough information to get this waiver approved, and they made a bad discretionary decision. And generally, you know, those appeals are not very winnable. Now, if he was admitted to the United States and then ordered deported, then you got to make a motion back to the immigration judge. I'm not sure where he is in terms of procedurally what immigration's saying happened. They stopped him at the border and then paroled him into the United States, or he was admitted to the United States and then ordered deported. I'm not sure. Okay. All I can tell you is it sounds, based on what you're telling me, it sounds like he was found inadmissible, paroled in for asylum, needs to file a waiver. That waiver wasn't done to the satisfaction of the Immigration Service. What I would suggest you do is let me look at the waiver that you filed, and then let's see if we can do a better job. That's really what needs to happen now. I mean, there's extraordinarily, without even knowing you, there's such an extraordinary hardship in being returned to Haiti, okay, that, you know, based on the conditions that are there right now, that, you know, you should be able to get these approved. I'm not saying you will get them, but a lot should be able to get approved. So hold on one second, okay? All right. Let's go to Marcus in the Bronx. Marcus.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey, what's up?
A small question.
Yes.
I got a 10-year green card. Can I travel to Canada?
Yeah, but with a green card, I'm told, you see, I'm not a Canadian immigration lawyer, you have to do something online to get some sort of, you know, visa thing to go across.
Okay.
All right, but you just can't just, that's if you're flying. I think if you're driving, I was told you don't need to do that. Just flying. Is that what I was told? I believe so. I'm going to double check with Kim. Hang on 1 minute, okay? We're going to check with Kim in about 3 minutes, okay? But the answer is generally yes, okay? But you see, I'm not a Canadian immigration lawyer, so I don't know Canadian stuff. But I know somebody gave us the answer a little bit back, but I don't remember what it was. Hold on 1 second. All right, let's go to Tamika in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Tamika.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, Tamika.
All right, this is my question. So I entered the U.S. on a visiting visa. I had an approved I-130, got a letter stating that I should go to the NBC for an interview.
Right.
And I opt to stay on adjust status. I did my interview, and then I received a letter stating I need some information regarding my marital assets. So I responded to the immigration. They were saying it has to be an error because the person who filed is my stepdad.
Right.
And obviously I'm not married to my stepdad.
Right, that would make sense.
I haven't heard back since. I did an interview in December. What do you think I should do?
So you responded, said, basically, this is a mistake. I'm not married to my stepdad. That was your response.
Right, but I did send, like, my own assets that I have and things like that.
Okay, so it's December. Give them 120 days from the time whenever you responded. Wait to see what they say. They should approve you because you can't be married to your stepdad. It's a pretty dumb letter, but they probably just made a mistake. If you haven't heard anything within 120 days, then contact me and let me follow up for you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. 1-800-529-5465. That's the number to call to get your immigration questions asked and answered. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Sheldon in Brooklyn, New York. Sheldon.
Hey,
what's
how
up?
are you doing?
Good. What's going on?
I'm calling because Okay, so my wife came here, and I actually filed for her. I am American citizen, so I filed for her, but she came up on a visa. She got her working permit and stuff, but it's been over 9 months. Is there a reason I got to wait that long?
All right, so basically she came here on a visitor's visa, and when she
Yes.
came here on the visitor's visa, when did you file for her? How much longer after when she came?
I can say around 4 months later.
Fine, perfect. 4 months later, you filed an adjustment application. I know that because she got her work permit, and now you're waiting 9 months and you haven't got an interview. Yeah, there's a reason for it. Okay, his name's Donald Trump. Okay, Donald Trump. It's true. Okay, I'm not making a joke. It's true.
So.
Okay, I know so.
You're right.
It's not I
You're
think
right.
so. It's I know so. Donald Trump has told immigration to slow everything down. Okay, so I mean that's what it is. I just even read somewhere. I wonder if I can pull it up on my phone. Maybe I'll look for it while we do the Bradjucation. I just looked somewhere that, if you go on the USCIS website, it says, to give benefits to immigrants and, protect immigration. And then, that's their mission statement. And then, USCIS is coming out with, with statements now saying that their mission statements now is to protect the U.S. worker. Okay, that's the Labor Department's responsibility. That's not the USCIS's responsibility. So now they have totally new responsibilities. I never heard why USCIS has to protect the American worker. USCIS has to give benefits to immigrants and help immigrants enter the United States. So the problem is Donald Trump, and it's in New York. An adjustment can take 10, 11 months now sometimes.
Okay.
So just hang in there.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, and I love your show.
Okay.
I enjoy you.
Thank you, Sheldon.
I always listen to you.
Thank you. And by the way, please tell your friends, if you love me so much, and I'm glad you do, tell your friends to come watch our show and on Facebook. And what you do is you like and follow. Everybody should like and follow the official Brad Show, and then you'll be notified every time I'm on.
Okay, I just like. Okay, all right. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right. 1-800. There you are. Yep, there we go. You like it and you follow. If you like and follow it, is this the sharing video or this is the like and follow video? No, I think this is the sharing video. Okay, you could share it as well. Okay, but if you like and follow the official Brad Show page, every time every time I come live, you're going to be notified. Now, you may not want to watch every time, but wouldn't it be nice that you're notified every time I'm live? And you can tell your friend, hey, Brad's on, ask your question. Or you know what? I'm bored for a few minutes. I'll go watch him. He's kind of funny, dude. 1-800-529-5465. If you are watching on Law Offices of Spar and Bernstein, we'll always share it to the Law Offices of Spar and Bernstein page. We will also always share it to the Brad H. Bernstein Facebook page. You'll also see it on YouTube. If you subscribe on YouTube, you will also be notified. If you are a subscriber to the official Brad Show page on YouTube, you will also be notified when we go live. So, but if you are liking and following Spar and Bernstein, of course, we want you to do that. Okay, but you will not be notified when we go live. And if you are liking and following me personally, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I want you to do that. Okay, but you won't be notified when we go live. You will only be notified when we go live if you like and follow the official Brad Show page and you like or subscribe. You subscribe on YouTube. You subscribe on YouTube. So please do that. And also now, here it is, like us on Facebook at Official Brad Show. There it is. Okay, now, for those who haven't done it yet, tell your friends and family by sharing. 1-800-529-5465. Let's go to Natalie in Palm Beach, Florida. Natalie. Natalie Nichols, how are you?
Hello. How you doing?
How are you? West Palm Beach, Florida. Jealous of you in the sun, and I'm in the cold and rain. Yeah. What's going on?
Thing. I'm just calling to give you some sunshine. I don't have no question. I just want to call.
Yeah, and?
No, just want to call just to put a name to the face or a voice to the name.
There you are.
Tamika said she'll call. So just good evening.
All right. Bless you. Bless you.
Thanks for all you do. You're doing a very good job.
And thanks for watching, and I appreciate your call. I like getting telephone calls just to say hello. That's really nice. What are you up to tonight? What are you doing?
Just got in for an intern because I missed a couple of days. So I'm just lying in bed and listening to you.
All right, cool. All right, relaxing for the evening. I will be lying in bed in about
For some reason, though, my husband thinks your show is a dating site for some reason.
Is a dating site?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
okay.
gets crazy.
Let me tell you what. Well, first of all, okay, I would say tell your husband, okay, unless you are less like the same sex, about 80% of the people who watch us are women. Okay, it's just a fact of life. So tell your husband unless you like the same sex.
He says he squeezes not, and I haven't been watching. But the thing is, I've been an intern very late, so I haven't got to watch.
Okay.
He has a thing about squeeze.
Okay, well,
Jelly.
okay, well, bless him. I'd like squeeze too. So, but you know what? We got 80% women. You know what? Tell your husband to relax. Okay, have a little confidence.
I know.
Okay, he's got to have a little confidence in himself that his woman is waiting there for him when he comes home. Okay.
But he's right here. You'll be watching too.
Oh,
And
he's
just be
watching.
crazy.
He's cool. Tell him he's fine then. I thought he's concerned that he's like at work and you're like watching the show and trying to like pick up men. No, okay, he's fine. There's no dating. There's no dating going on here unless, of course, you know Jeff Bossy and our buddy down in Miami, Anna. You never know about that. But that's the only dating I know that's going on. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Nice
very much.
talking to you.
Thank
Bye.
you. All right. Say hello to your husband for me. All right. 1-800-529-5465. All right. One of the Brad Squad just decided to call and chat. You can do that too. 1-800-529-5465. All right. So let's go to our Braducation. I don't even know what the Braducation is for today. The Braducation is, will an interview be smoother if a lawyer is present or more difficult? Let's watch.
Will an interview be smoother with a lawyer present or more difficult?
Your interview will be substantially smoother with a lawyer present. Generally, when you go on an interview, it's the immigration officer and you and perhaps your petitioner there as well. Most of the time, nobody is videotaping these interviews. Most of the time, nobody is audio taping these interviews. The only person you have there to protect you and your rights and make sure that that interview goes smoothly and to make sure that interview goes according to the way the law is supposed to have it go is to have an attorney present. An attorney present will make things go substantially smoother. All right, there you got it. Attorney makes it go smoother. I got to agree with myself. I got to agree with my thinner, more bearded self. That's thinner, more bearded Brad. I agree with him. 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAW-LINK. Let's find Kimmy Kim with our second round of social media check-in. Hello again.
Hello.
All right.
It's so good of you to agree with yourself,
I
Brad.
agree with myself sometimes.
Really big
Yes,
of you.
it's big of me. All right, what do we got here? What do we got?
We've got Spencer, who's asking on behalf of a friend.
Yeah.
Spencer says, is it possible to reinstate an out-of-status J1 visa to continue the terminated academic training with other schools? So his lawyer advised.
Yeah, continue.
His lawyer first advised him that advised him that he can, but then the school that he went back to, his first school that he went back to, said that it might not be possible. So he's really confused.
Yeah, you can only reinstate student visas. I've never heard of reinstating J1 status. You would need to go home, get a new J visa, come back, and then they're going to give you a big problem. If you're on a student visa, you can reinstate. I have never personally seen. I've reinstated people on student visas many, many times, but I've not seen reinstatement for J visas. By all means, try. Nothing bad will happen to you. They'll either approve it or deny it. I've just never seen a J1 get reinstated, me personally.
So his second question is the friend currently accruing unlawful presence after his SEVIS was terminated?
No, he's not, because now if he's on an F1 visa, then the answer is you can reinstate. But on a J1 or an F1, you're in duration of status, and when you're on duration status, you don't get unlawful presence. So you are not accruing any unlawful presence until the government asks you to leave the country. Now, what will happen is, if you go to reinstate the J-1 visa and you get denied, the government will say, you are denied, you are out of status, and now you're going to start accruing.
That makes sense.
So you may, if your issue is, I don't want to accrue unlawful status because maybe you want to do a job sponsorship or be able to do something else to go home in a little bit to pick up a visa without having a 3 or 10 year bar, maybe reinstatement may not be the smartest thing, unless you're pretty sure you're going to get it.
Lizzie wants to know, what other forms do you send along with your asylum application, and how do I remove one of my children from my asylum application?
You don't remove your children. You got to be honest and say who your children are. You just can choose not to have them get their green cards if you choose not to. And as far as what you put with your asylum application is evidence of what you're claiming to be true. Credible evidence. That's what you put with it.
Rodica's coworker had a really tough week and is having a tough week. The coworker's cousin was in a car accident earlier this week, currently on life support, showing absolutely no signs of improvement, and so she's planning to take her cousin off of life support this week, tomorrow. She wants to know if there is any way that she can send the death certificate once she gets it to her aunt, who's currently in Jamaica, so that the aunt can take it to the embassy to get a visa for to come to the funeral.
Absolutely. And by the way, we have a fantastic, I don't want to, at this point in time, but we do have a fantastic personal injury department.
Can help.
And we can help. But certainly, yes, the aunt can try to get a visa to come to the funeral. And I'm terribly sorry.
Romeo wants to know, I just want to know how long it's going to take for an I-601A provisional waiver to be approved after taking my biometric.
About 6 months.
Udia says, my mom started filing for my sister in 2009, and it was approved starting in 2011, but my sister is now married. How long does she have left to get through?
4 more years.
Nyla says, can I adopt my grandchildren from the Caribbean? I'm a U.S. citizen.
You want to bring them here, they would have to be orphaned. We could talk about what the orphan is. It doesn't mean that the mother and father are dead. The parents could have abandoned, but you're not going to go to the Caribbean and do an adoption. You won't get them here. All right, you have to do the you have to bring them up as orphans. The reason why you won't get them if you go to the Caribbean is if you go to the Caribbean and do a straight adoption in any of the Caribbean countries, whether it's Jamaica, Trinidad, whatever it is, you have to prove that you had legal guardianship of the child for 2 years, which doesn't happen until the time of the adoption. So then you got to wait 2 years before you even file for the child after the adoption. The adoption takes time. And number 2, you got to prove that 2 years prior to the adoption, you and that child lived together in the same household. It's very difficult. Okay.
Wow, yeah,
now, because most of the times you didn't live with the child. Now, when you do an orphan, usually it's one of the parents abandoned and one of the parents can't afford the children. Now you strip the parents of their parental rights. One parent abandoned, the other parent just literally can't support the children. They're not wealthy people. You strip the child of the parents of their parental rights. You do that in a Caribbean country, and then you do a pre-adoption here in the United States, and you bring the child up as an orphan, has no mother, no father, and you do the adoption here. That's generally, the fact pattern you see.
That is sounds like such a tough process.
Yeah. It is, but it takes about a year or less to do it that way.
Oh, okay.
So
that's not
even if you did live with the child for 2 years, you're going to wait 3 years by doing a straight adoption.
By doing it that way, yeah. Sweet Kimmy says, how long is it going to take me to file for my daddy, and can I file a work permit while he's here waiting?
Is that you?
I love that she calls her dad daddy.
Is that you?
No.
Oh, I thought you're like your alter ego. Like instead of saying I'm asking for a friend, no, it's not you.
Asking for Sweet Kimmy wants to know.
Okay, all right. You and Sweet Kimmy are 2 different people.
I no longer call my dad daddy.
Okay, fine. All right, good. All right. If your dad's here on a visitor's visa, you can do his adjustment after 90 days of coming here. Yes, he'll get his work permit and his green card in about 9 months.
Kamel says, I filed my I-751. I sent in all the proof and then got another letter saying that they need more proof. Unfortunately, my husband died since we started the process. What do I need to send? And what are the additional documents I need to send to inform them that he passed away?
This person is getting the green card?
Yes.
Yeah, you got to file a widow petition now and prove that it was a bona fide marriage. And you got to do that within 2 years of the death.
Sandria says, my husband is petitioning for me. I'm in the U.S. We've done the I-130 and it's been approved. But back in Jamaica, I told some untruths in the interview. And here in the interview asked me the same questions that I answered back in Jamaica. And then they asked me to do a waiver. And my husband took it in after 3 months. I called and they said they have not received a document. What should I do?
I lost after the untruths, and I was making faces. Tell me what happened after that.
You were making faces.
Yes, because I heard untruths, and I went, really? And then for some reason, I didn't hear the rest of the question. I don't know. I lost it in my ear.
Hard not to laugh at your faces.
Yeah. Because you were cutting in and out of my ear for some reason. I had a little technical difficulty there. So what happened after that? I won't make faces, and I guess I won't have the technical difficulty.
You got to maintain straight face.
Yeah, I got to maintain straight face, yeah.
After she told the untruths in Jamaica, she had another interview in the U.S. and she was asked the same questions at that interview that they asked her back in Jamaica. They then asked her to do a waiver.
Right.
The husband brought in the waiver, and it's been 3 months. She just called, and they said they have not received anything. What is her next step?
Come see me. Come see me before you take any more steps.
So Wendy wants to know, I'm filing for my dad in Jamaica, but dad was born in England and he's currently living in Jamaica. Do I still only file the I-130?
You file the I-130 only, correct.
Syed says, my friend came here on a tourist visa with his family and his wife for on a 6-month visa. After that, she delivered a baby. They did not go back to India after she had the baby, and now they're out of status.
Right.
Is there anything that you could do to help them gain legal status, work permit, green
having
card?
a baby doesn't get you a green card. Okay?
It's anything.
Right, it hurts you if anything at this moment. It may help you in the future if you've been here for 10 years and you put in deportation, but at the moment, coming on a visitor's visa for purposes of giving birth is not a good thing. You're out of status, and your question basically is, how do I get a green card? And that would require a consultation.
Maria says, there is a common misconception here, and we get it all the time, and I need you to clear this up for me, Brad. Maria's got a friend who's an illegal immigrant, and he's been living here for 15 years, and he's working, and he's been paying his taxes. Since he's been paying his taxes, does that mean that he now has an easier path to legal status?
Nope. Paying your taxes. But it does help you if he's put in deportation that he was paying his taxes. He shows he's a good person of good moral character. But the fact that you worked here illegally for 15 years and paid taxes, there's nothing in the law that says, okay, now I can get my green card faster. All right, so let's do this, Kim. I got Val waiting online here from Boston. Let's speak to Val, see what he has to ask. I met up with Jacob Hudnut. This is actually cool because we're going to talk about felony murder. And what's the difference between felony murder, manslaughter, negligent homicide, and we just represented somebody in a felony murder. So it's actually kind of cool, interesting conversation. So we're going to talk with him, and then we're going to come back and finish up our social media check-in. I'm going to see you 3 times today.
You're so lucky, Brad.
I am. All right, so let's go to Val in Boston, Massachusetts.
Hello,
Val.
this is Val.
How are you, Val?
I'm good. Thank you so much for the good job you're doing for us in America.
Much. Thank you. What's going on?
I want to find out if your case status is changed. For instance, they say your name is updated. What does that mean? They say your name is updated, and you never asked for name. You never corrected your name. It's just a name updated. What does that mean?
Whose file? What are you looking at? You're looking online?
Yeah, I look online on immigration website.
Right, and who's sponsoring you? Who's sponsoring you?
Nobody's sponsoring me. I'm filing for VAWA.
VAWA. And it says your name was updated?
Yes.
I have no idea what that would mean, but I really wouldn't go by what's on the immigration website. You know, people always, look at that, and half the time it's wrong and not updated. So I wouldn't worry about it.
So, please, what is the regular time for the process?
It's about 18 months. It's about 18 months.
About 18 months, okay. Thank you so much.
Hang in there. If you have a problem, hold on, all right? We can have a consultation even from Boston. Or even, I'll tell you what, people in Boston can go to our Hartford office. It's only about a 2.5 hour drive.
Okay.
Right.
I don't have a car, so I'm not. Just a drive.
Okay. All right, hold on, though. All right, 1-800-529-5465. So I did meet up with Jacob Hudnut. I think it's a kind of a cool conversation to go really fast. Watch it. It's all about criminal defense here in New York and Connecticut and the difference between all the different murder charges, felony, manslaughter, negligent homicide, and intentional murder. Let's watch. So with us today is Jacob Hudnut. Jacob is one of our fantastic criminal defense attorneys here. He's actually very excited. He said, first time in the studio. He's usually in the social media room. And now that we have you in the studio, we wanted to put you not behind the bars, but in front of the bars, which is what Jacob does. He keeps our clients in front of the bars, not behind the bars. He's a fantastic criminal defense attorney. Today, we're talking about something called felony murder. And that's different than intentional murder or manslaughter or negligent murder, negligent homicide. What is felony murder, Jacob?
Hi, Brad.
How you doing?
Good. Excited to be here. Felony murder is when you can be charged with murder, even though you did not have a plan to go out and commit murder. Basically, this happens when you are committing a crime, and in the midst of that crime, a person dies. You don't necessarily have to pull the trigger, point the gun at them. Let's say you're robbing a bank, and on the way out, you drop your gun, and it hits a teller. The bullet, that could be a felony murder charge.
So felony murder is you wake up one morning and you say, and you commit a crime. You have a premeditated intent to commit a crime. I'm going to go rob a bank. I'm going to go steal a car. I'm going to, I don't know, sexual assault. I'm going to steal something from Macy's. Whatever it is. And then in the process of you committing this crime, somebody dies. Like in the movies when they go to rob the bank and they shoot the bank guard who's guarding, and then they run out the bank with the money, that would be felony murder.
Yes.
Okay. And what is the difference between that and manslaughter then?
Okay, well, manslaughter basically occurs when you don't have any premeditation to do anything wrong. Manslaughter can happen when, let's say you're driving recklessly, whether you're under the influence of alcohol, or you're driving to evade the police, and you're exhibiting an indifference toward the human life that is around you. It could also be in the heat of the moment. You walk in on your spouse, they're cheating on you right then and there, you pick up something and kill one of them. So there are things that don't contemplate any premeditation at all, but somebody dies.
And that's versus intentional murder, where you wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to go kill this person.
Yes.
Versus negligent homicide. What would negligent homicide be compared to manslaughter?
Getting inebriated and driving your vehicle. And hitting another car, and those people die. The other big difference too is, let's say we rob a bank together.
Let's say we do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You decide to shoot the guard.
Right? I shoot the guard.
Yeah, you get hot-headed, you shoot the guard.
And you're sitting there next to me.
I'm in the car. I'm the getaway driver.
Okay. Right.
I can be charged with your
felony murder.
Yes.
What if I'm not committing a felony? What if I'm swiping a pair of shorts from Macy's, and on the way out, running out, the guard says, "Hey, stop," and I turn around and point my gun, to try to scare him, and unfortunately it goes off. I didn't mean to actually shoot him, and I kill him, but I'm committing a misdemeanor. I'm not committing a felony. Is that still felony murder?
That would not be felony murder. I'm sure they'd hit you with some type of manslaughter for acting that recklessly, having that gun in public. But you could not bootstrap felony murder to that.
So what is the sentence for a felony murder? They take that very seriously here in New York and New Jersey, I assume.
In New Jersey, your sentence will be anywhere from 30 years to a life in prison, and you will be eligible for parole, if at all, no less than 30 years.
So if you are in the process of committing a crime and somebody dies, you don't even have to intentionally. It could have been totally negligent.
Yes.
Okay? Somebody dies while you are in the process of committing a felony, you're going to jail for 30 years to life.
Yes, in New Jersey. Here in New York, it's no ifs, ands, or buts, no two ways about it. It's a life sentence.
It's a life sentence. You're in jail for almost your entire life.
Yeah.
Now, recently, now it's very interesting to talk about this, but recently also Jacob handled a case where his client was charged with felony murder. Tell us about that case.
We were actually, our goal is to avoid the felony murder charge. We represent a young man charged as an adult who took somebody's cell phone. Foolish, dumb mistake. The person whose cell phone it was ran after our client to get his phone back. One of the client's friends decided to clock the guy. One of his friends was on
What do you mean
the scene.
clock him? Like literally punch him in the face?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Police came, that was charged as a robbery.
Right.
Okay.
Even this is almost equivalent to stealing, stealing a telephone is like equivalent to stealing a pair of shorts in Macy's.
Yes.
In a way.
And once there's theft involved, that's the difference between theft and robbery is the use of force. So if you're forcefully stealing a pair of shorts, sure, they can make that into a robbery.
Into a robbery, and now you're a felon.
Yes.
So when he forcibly took the phone from somebody, that there was some sort of force involved, that made it a felony versus walking through and Macy's. I don't know why I always use Macy's as the example. I don't want anyone to go steal anything in Macy's, but I always use that as the example. Walking through Bloomingdale's or whatever, walking through Sam's clothing, 99-cent clothing store. It really doesn't matter. And the clerk looks the other way, and you take the shorts and you go like this, and you stick it in. That's not a robbery. That's just
no force.
There's no force. That's a theft.
Assume that the man had his phone out on the counter, and the kid took it.
Right.
Theft.
So in your particular case, he forcibly took it, which made it a robbery, and then a felony, and then in the process of running away from this guy, another, an associate of your client, a big dummy, comes over, clocks the guy in the head.
Yes.
And he died?
So the case proceeded as a robbery, and then unfortunately the victim died from those injuries.
Oh my God, terrible.
The client was exposed to a felony murder charge for the co-defendant's actions.
And he was looking at jail. This was in New Jersey or New York?
New York.
He was looking at jail for life. For literally, a guy has a telephone in his hand, he forcibly takes it away, runs away, and his friend who he was hanging out with punches the guy in the face, and ultimately this guy dies. And this is a client of ours who was running away with the phone. Obviously, he did something wrong. He stole the phone. He should never have. He certainly shouldn't have been hanging out with this guy who's going to turn around and clock this guy in the face and eventually kill him. He hit him so hard. I mean, there's nothing good that happened here, but he was looking at the rest of his life in jail for stealing this telephone.
Yes.
And he comes to Jacob Hudnut. What do we do for this guy?
We present mitigation, his age, what he's been up to while he's being detained on these charges, and we are going to be able to limit his exposure to just the robbery charge.
Well, that's wonderful.
Which is keeping it fair because it was the knucklehead friend that really escalated.
Right. So he will eventually serve jail time.
Yes.
But he will not be serving for the rest of his life. But it's very, very, whenever you are charged with a crime, if there is a death and you had nothing to do with it, but there was a death that was involved while a crime that you are being charged with was taking place, or maybe this death happened months later, but the injury happened, you can go to jail for the rest of your life.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Scary stuff.
All right. Fantastic job, Jacob. Jacob Hudnut from Spar and Bernstein, Criminal Defense. What I tell everybody right now is you don't want to be behind those bars. You want to be in front like we are. So save our telephone number. It's 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK. It's the same telephone number that you call to get on our show, to get your legal questions asked. It's the same telephone number for my law office. And what I tell everybody to do is pick up the phone, dial the number, hang up, and you hear Fiona or whoever's answering our phone, "Hi, Spar and Bernstein, how can I help you?" Click, you hang up, but now you have that telephone number saved in your phone for life. God forbid you need good criminal defense attorneys. You don't know if you're going to need to call at 2 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, on Saturday, on Sunday, on New Year's Eve. You have no idea. Have good lawyers saved in your phone. The difference between you behind those bars or in front of those bars or somebody you love or a friend is the lawyers you choose. So please try to choose Spar and Bernstein. We're going to have our attorneys come on every so often. Jacob Hudnut, fantastic job. And the telephone number is 1-800-529-5465, 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. Obviously, prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Jacob, thanks for joining.
Thank you, Ed.
And welcome to our studio.
Thank you. Love
All
it.
right.
Great.
All right, that was our criminal segment. I like the bars in the criminal segment. I like being in front of the bars, not behind the bars, obviously. And I'm just reading some of the comments here. Wendy Brown feels it is very sad. I agree. If he didn't steal the phone, the man would never have died. Yes. If that phone was never stolen, the man would never have died, which is why they have felony murder. It's why they say if somebody dies while you're committing a different crime, and, you know, robbing a bank, stealing a phone, whatever it is, and somebody dies while you are committing that crime and you're found guilty of committing a theft and there's a death or a robbery or whatever it may be and there's a death involved, that's jail for life in New York and over 30 years in New Jersey. So, yeah, they take it very, very seriously. 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-529-5465. We got about 7 or 8 minutes left of our show. I want to find Kimmy Kim. I know we have more social media questions. I want to try to finish them up and try to answer everybody's social media questions. Kimmy Kim, where are you? Hello again. Third time's a charm. I know we have a lot of questions, so let's try to go through all our questions and comments. And let's try to leave the commentary to a minimum so we try to answer as many as we can. How's that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jada on YouTube says, I'm a permanent resident and I got through on a VAWA case. I went ahead and filed for my 4 under 21 children that are here in the U.S. as of last November. They did their biometric in January of 2018, and their papers for the papers that immigration sent were without their alien numbers. Then immigration sent back, asked for a copy of their passport and birth certificate to go on the work permit. How long from now should I expect their work permits to come, and why don't the kids have alien numbers?
I don't know why the kids don't have alien numbers. Sometimes you don't get them right away. You may just have an EAC number, just a service center number. Eventually they'll get an alien number. Don't worry about it. What's more important is that you do the case properly. If you submitted what you were supposed to have submitted, figure about 120 days from whenever you responded to that RFE. It's a request for further evidence, and they should be getting their work permits.
Bashi says, I'm married to an American citizen. I submitted all my documents about 8 months ago, but have received no notice from USCIS. Is that normal?
No, you screwed up somewhere. Call me.
Ronique says, my husband filed my I-130. My priority date is November of 2016. He got the approval letter in December of 2016. Should we have received another letter by now? He's a green card holder and I'm in Jamaica.
No, because you're on a waiting list for about another, year or so. They're in early 2016. So sometime towards the end of the year, you should be getting something from the National Visa Center, fee bills, to start that process to get you your green card.
Ruth says, I've been here since 1989. Is there any way that you guys can help me? My daughter is currently 22 and my son is 18. Is there any way that I can become legal?
If your daughter's a citizen, yes.
Kimmy Kim says,
Kimmy Kim.
Kimmy Kim, yes. A different one, but I do love yes. Kimmy Kim London too.
Yes.
Kimmy Kim London says, I had a friend, he was coming to the U.S. and then immigration took him out of line at the airport, questioned him, saw that he had an American bank card. And so they said that he had previously been working in the U.S., saw that he had previously spent 4 months here. And so they gave him a 5-year bar. Now he wants to know, is there anything he can do to come back?
Well, he needs a waiver to come back. He has a permanent bar. So he was found inadmissible at the airport, so he was deported at the airport. That's a 5-year bar. But then there's a permanent bar for misrepresenting what purpose you're coming to the United States for, which is working on a visitor's visa. So he's got big issues. He would need to have a consultation.
Absolutely. Monica wanted to clarify what a previous caller had asked about a green card and Canada. Monica said, yes, if you've got your green card in the U.S., you can travel to Canada. And I did confirm on the Canadian website, you can travel to Canada without having a Canadian visa. However, if you fly, you do need to go online to apply for a travel permit, which is called an ETA. It's apparently super simple, very easy to do. You just have a couple questions. It costs $7 Canadian. If you drive to Canada, if you just drive, though, you only need your green card at the border.
I think that's what I said. But I said I'm not.
That is exactly what you said.
I'm not a Canadian immigration lawyer, but I said I think that's how it works.
Yep. So there is that confirmation.
Thank you very much for the confirmation. I appreciate it.
Diana said, after an I-130 is approved, what comes afterwards, and how long is the process for adjusting my husband's status? I'm a U.S. citizen filing for my husband who lives with me here.
Okay, you should have filed the adjustment with the I-130. You wasted time, 9-10 months filing an I-130 alone. So if your husband's living here, you file an adjustment with the I-130 together. Do it now. It takes about another 9-10 months. If you come see me, because you're not doing things in a quick, expedient manner. Long show. I said expedious. I made up a word. Expedient.
Expedious. Although,
yes,
wait,
I also
what was
made
the
up Fabby. Fabby. I made Fabby too up. I'm making words up as we go along.
But you taught me circuitous.
Circuitous. A circuitous
I did not know.
You didn't know that word.
I did not know.
Yes.
I did not study hard enough for my SATs,
I am
sorry. Haroon says, I had a friend who I tried to sponsor. Haroon.
Oh, Haroon.
Haroon.
Oh, because Haru is the movie with, the big fat ninja. Remember where the guy is the ninja? Stupid comedy? You're not sure what I'm talking about? There's a stupid comedy with Chris Farley, who's now dead.
I do love Chris Farley.
Yeah, I forgot what it was called, but he was a big fat ninja because he always played the big fat guy, and his name was Haru. One of my stupid. I know all the stupid favorite Beverly Hills Ninja.
The king of stupid movies.
That's right. Jill just told me what it was in my ear. She goes, Beverly Hills Ninja? I go, yeah, I think that's what it was. But I remember his name was Haru. And the only reason I remember that is because there is a chain of Japanese restaurants in New York also called Haru. And every time I walk by it, or sometimes I even eat in it every so often, I always think of that stupid movie. Because that was his name in the movie. There you go. Okay, what else? I just told you no. No commentary in there. I'm going off. All right, let's continue.
Yeah, I was just gonna let you roll.
Yes. But Jill says she loves Chris Farley trivia.
We need to bring Jill on at some point. The people need to meet.
People need to meet Jill.
Yes.
I would like to. Okay, what else?
What?
I was going to say something, but I saw we only have 2 minutes, so let's go.
We do. And we've got one last question.
Oh, great. Oh, so perfect.
Boom. Haroon said, I had a friend who I tried to sponsor and have him and his family come to the U.S., but Jamaica has refused him several times. Why is it so hard for men to leave and earn a decent living? Why is it harder for Jamaicans?
Because you can't come here to visit to work. So you've just answered your own question. You're coming to visit to visit. You can't, the visitor's visa is not working visa. That's why. They believe he's coming to work, and you just told us he's coming to work. So the Immigration Service is correct when they said you're coming to work, which is why he was denied.
I've got two more. Can I squeeze them in?
Sure.
Sophia said, is it possible that I can get a consultation with Jacob about my legal issues?
Yes, you can. Call 1-800-529-5465.
And Geneth, I don't know.
Jeanette.
Are you in New York? My husband filed an I-130 for me and my daughter in November of 2017, and so far the only thing we've gotten is a receipt letter.
Yeah. So yes, I'm in New York, and yes, let him come and see us.
Perfect.
Okay.
We have gone through rapid fire.
Kimmy Kim. All right, another great show, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow, Kimmy Kim. We will see everybody on the Brad Squad tomorrow for our Friday evening show. Until then, have a great evening. Stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow at 5:30. So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection. Make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAWLINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?